we are here with Lars. Good job, man. Hello and welcome guys to a new video on this channel. Today we're gonna review your jibes again, and we're also going out to the lake with Lars, who is behind the camera right now, and I'm gonna teach him a thing or two about his jibes and hopefully will improve it. And if you want to see more awesome windsurfing content, vlogs, tutorials, action, everything on this channel, if you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. And yeah, lots of more videos coming. Right now we are in Tarifa. I would say let's get right into it and look at some of your jibes. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me your footage, and we're looking at the first jibe right now, going full speed downwind, which is already good. First we're looking at the whole jibe, fully planing, nice shifting of the sail. Actually a very nice jibe. He's going downwind, gaining a lot of speed before the jibe, which is very important. Taking out the foot out of the foot strap, leaning in, stretching the front arm close to the sail. He's really compact and close to the sail. That's really good. You can see that probably the boom is a little bit too high. He really has to kind of get in an awkward position to shift the sail. I would recommend you to try and put the boom a bit lower and trim your gear accordingly, that it still flies even with a little bit of a lower boom. So good job with that one. Who's definitely struggling a little bit more with the jibe than Koen is Lars. So I think we should take a look at his jibe and try to improve it. All right guys, we are here with Lars, my videographer. Lars is a windsurfer and he's struggling with the jibe, like pretty much everyone. What is your struggle right now?
I can carve the board into the jibe, but then I have problems with shifting the sail around and staying on the board while doing that.
So what we're trying to do is we're gonna go out 3 sessions. After each session, Lars is gonna get a feedback from me, and we're gonna see how far we can get Lars within 1 hour of training. Okay Lars, where do we start? It's very important that when you practice jibes, you try to set everything around you up as perfectly as possible. That means, first of all, obviously gear has to be perfect. Ideally you find a spot with flat water. That's kind of okay. I mean, it's wavy, for you it's wavy, and well, it's kind of gusty. That makes it obviously difficult. What I want to suggest you is that when you go out, don't try to, because I saw that you were struggling of keeping upwind, the wind was a bit light. Try to first work yourself upwind and then go downwind for the jibe. So what you were trying to do is squeeze upwind, squeeze upwind, squeeze upwind, and then enter the jibe straight away. You can try that now. I think the wind is picking up. You want to take a smaller sail maybe?
If you say that's better.
Yeah, wind is picking up.
So what we saw with Lars was actually kind of the exact opposite of the first jibe we looked at. Lars was not really setting up perfectly for the jibe. In the first jibe, we had perfect flat water, shooting downwind, gaining speed. So that's really what you want to do. You want to find the perfect terrain, the perfect wind, ideally. And yeah, shoot downwind and gain speed before you go into the jibe. If you go in with less speed, you're just gonna struggle a lot, because the more speed you keep, the more stable the board will be and it won't sink. So we're gonna take a look at the next jibe, and this one is from Wilhelm. Here we go, shooting downwind, letting the board fly, pretty good. Hooking out, front foot out, legs are pretty close together, shifting the sail, and just waiting a bit too long. You're shooting downwind, letting the board fly, a lot of speed, switching your hand around. At this point, I would say your legs are a little bit too close together. So this lets you lose control. You want to have kind of a wide stance. So your back foot could probably be a little bit further in the back, and then you're carving in nicely. Also, you can go a little bit more into your knees. You're doing a nice carve. This movement is great, how you're bringing back up the sail already at this stage of the jibe. Switching your feet, very smooth. And this is where the problem starts. you're not letting go of the sail. What you want to do is, at this point, you're doing a really good job with moving the sail over, and at this point right here, you already want to shift the sail and grab the new side. So this is really what you're struggling with here. Just commit to letting go, rely on your other hand on the boom, cross over with the hands, and then find the new side. So this is what I can see with this jibe. And before we look into the next jibe, let's take a look at how Lars is progressing. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, you're taller. What's your size?
1.97 meters.
Okay, well, I felt like the boom was a bit too low. It seemed like it was here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's put it a bit higher. Enough, yeah.
So?
Something like that, yeah. I think that's gonna make it a little bit better already. What I saw now is that when you take your back foot out of the back strap, you always lean back and you stall the board. Try to keep a little bit more pressure on the mast base, because that way you lose a lot of speed. Other than that, you gotta close the sail a bit more when entering the jibe. So because the pressure in the sail keeps the board more steady. I think that the low boom was a little bit of a problem. So that could maybe already solve it. Close the sail a little bit more, close your shoulders in as well, and give it another try. We see what you can do.
Let's go.
So as you see, Lars is still struggling with the entrance of the jibe. He's losing a lot of speed because when he takes his back foot out, the board nose comes up and yeah, he loses the speed, which he obviously needs in the jibe. But we will take a look into the next jibe, and this one is Lasse, and he's jibing on a waveboard. So obviously on a waveboard, it's more difficult to keep the speed. Anyhow, this was a pretty good jibe. He's going into the jibe nicely. What I can see here already is you can even close the sail a bit more to get the board calmer in the water. So you close the sail and it automatically makes the board sit a bit more and you don't bounce around as much. Nice foot switch right here. Shifting is also really good. He's having the sail very close to the body, and that again gives you good control. And what I can see here is the moment you shift the sail, Lasse, right here, and you want to go to the new side, you're going too far upwind straight away. So you shift, grab the new side and pointing into the wind. That's where you lose your speed. You can see here how your front leg is stretched and the back foot is angled. What I will suggest you is to overdo this movement. Fully stretch your front leg and bend the back one more. And at the same time, once you grab the new side of the boom, in this exact moment, you want to bring your arms forward. Bring them forward, catch all the wind in the sail you can, and keep pointing downwind. After you're done with your jibe, you're going a bit downwind again to regain the speed, right? And you want to do that right after the jibe, at the exit of the jibe. Maybe we take a look at my jibe where you can really see this exaggerated movement. And this is especially relevant also if you have a lot of power in the sail, which I have in this moment. Going into the jibe, switching the feet, switching the sail, and now take a look at my front leg. Fully extended, and this is how you deal with a lot of pressure, and this is how you also achieve to really keep the board pointing downwind. And then you do a little hand wash at the end of the jibe like here. I would say let's take a look at how Lars is dealing with the overpower. Look who we have here.
Hello.
Lucas from the last jibing video. Practicing jibes again today?
I try so.
Is it going better now?
I didn't go to the water quite often since the last time, so let's see.
Okay, good luck. We're not practicing water starts, Lars.
I have no chance against the wind with the sail.
We're also not practicing catapults.
Yeah, but it was a good example, wasn't it?
How to not do it, maybe.
How to not do it.
I can see that you're struggling out there.
Yeah, it's way too much wind for me.
So you're on 6.2 now, fully powered up. You leaning in or like closing your arms a bit more and, you know, moving your shoulders in. I think it helped a little bit with the bouncing of the board. You're still struggling a little bit with the stall movement, like when you take out your back foot. So, and also I realized that when you take the back foot out, the windward rail of the board digs in the water and you're going slightly upwind. So basically you gotta try to keep the pressure on the board level. Try basically to, when you take the foot out, put already some more balance on the leeward side so that when you take it out, you don't kick into the windward side. And then what I also realized, okay, so this is my final tip for you today. You are desperately trying to hold on to the old side of the boom. It seems almost like you're scared of switching the sail. So what you want to do is really just commit to shifting the sail over. Try to carve a little bit longer so you're like really fully downwind, almost on the new side, and then commit to switching the sail. So this is what you want to try.
So Lars also not fully committed to shifting the sail yet, still struggling to just let go of the backhand. Before we look into the next jibe, Florian sent over this really cool duck jibe, nice scenery. Yeah, not much to improve on that one, but I wanted to show you anyways because yeah, it just looks so marvelous. Really cool duck jibe. And so next we're looking at the jibe of Luca, who is using a free race sail right here, going into the jibe smoothly, shifting the sail. And what I can see here through the sail is that it would be good for you, Luca, to move the backhand a bit further back. Okay, and that way you're gonna have more leverage over the sail to close it, and that will give you more control and help you to let the board bounce less over the chop. If you have a little bit of a wider grip, more control over the sail, you can close the sail better towards the back. Foot switch, super quick, very nice. And this right here is again a moment where you're losing some speed. So when you shift the sail and you're overpowered, try to shift it a little bit more to the back. So bring the end of the boom down towards the tail. That way you're gonna have an easier time rotating the sail in these overpowered conditions. And then again, you want to overdo this leg movement. I can see you doing it a little bit here. It's hard to see behind the sail, but if you really full on stretch your front leg and really overdo the movement, you're gonna accelerate out of the jibe much better, because here you can see that the sail is kind of pulling you over. But if you really lean in, push the front leg and bend the back one, you're gonna accelerate out of it with less struggles. But anyway, very nice jibe. This is it with your jibes. And before we look at another one of my jibe, I would say we take a look at Lars and yeah, see how he improved over the last hour.
Nice! Ah. You look like you ran out of power.
I'm done for today.
Finally, we managed to get all the energy out of him. Good job, man. I think you made some progress.
I think so too. Thanks for the tips. I hope you can learn something from that as well.
You look really cold.
I don't feel that cold, but I think I should change.
So I think really good. Switching the hands became much better. You're still struggling a bit with the chop and the waves,
Yeah,
but also that has gotten better by closing in your shoulders more, closing the sail more. So I think this is a good start, and obviously you won't learn the jibe in a day, but I think we can take it from there. Thanks. Back to the studio. I think Lars is doing some improvement. Are you happy with how it went, Lars?
Yeah, I'm kind of happy. Would be happier if there would have been a little bit less chop, but
Yeah.
it was quite nice.
Yeah, less chop is obviously better, but there's one detail that I noticed afterwards looking at the footage. Lars sails with the front hand upside down, which in itself is fine, but the issue is that when you do the jibe like that and you want to switch the sail, it's a very awkward position. It's not natural to have the one underneath and the other one on top. Put your front hand back on top of the boom. So this will allow him to shift the sail more smoothly. Lars will keep practicing, obviously. We'll keep you up to date with what he's doing. And now I would say let's take a look at my jibe here. Blasting over the chop, having a good time, and yeah, laying down the sail. This is a race jibe. You can see the backhand. I have a relatively wide grip. Backhand pulling in, front hand stretching, yet I'm still close to the sail. So the sail goes down, but my body goes down as well. So I'm keeping close to the sail. Opening the sail up, and this is in this position, I'm just coming straight downwind, so I'm already opening up my sail. Switching the feet. You have to know that in this moment, here my balance is on my toes to carve into the jibe, but the moment I switch my feet, the balance goes to the heels, so I can continue the radius smoothly. So you have to keep in mind that when you switch the feet, your weight on the board goes from toes to heels. And then you can see here very well, I'm having the balance on the heels, and I'm carving while I switch the sail. And then off I go, feet into the foot straps, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I very much enjoyed looking at your jibes. I hope I could help you. If I did help you a little bit with this video, please make sure to leave us a like. Let us know in the comments how your jibes are going. I read every single comment, even though I can't always answer all of them. If you're still watching this video to the very end, you're an absolute legend, and you should definitely subscribe if you're new here. And I would say I see you guys next week in the next video. Bye! Wo ist er da? Alter! Oh! Junge!
Schön mal da hinten rein.
Rock'n'Roll, ey!